This is Soundoff 60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show. Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at La Berge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
If it's not rocking and rolling at your house, it is here at Jack Daniel's.
Sure
Welcome back to Soundoff 6-0. That's Guidry, Hobbs, and Cerro here for 60 minutes.
Yeah, well, wait.
An hour.
It is kind of rolling
Let me
for
just,
5:30 on a Monday.
It is.
I'm telling you.
Let me just interject for just a minute.
What do you got going on
The young
here?
fellow on your left, Scooter and I are right.
I'm well rested, by the way.
Coming back all excited, like, hey, guys. Scooter, if I can recall, you and I did the show by ourselves
Yeoman's
last week.
work.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, so
Yeah, we grinded through.
what's all the excitement here on the
one way
end?
of putting it.
Like, hey, I'm back. Mr. Cerro, tell us about the snow. Tell us about the ski. I mean, we want to know.
It's cold.
I always said, that
But it's beautiful.
I've never actually been snow skiing. It's not on my bucket list.
It needs to be.
I haven't.
I mean, well, no, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, my butt's going to be warm.
No,
I'm
no.
I've been
it's
around snow
refreshing.
a great deal.
18 degree
I
wind
have been
chill.
to,
Really?
I have
Your
been
face
to,
off.
I have been to a couple of ski resorts, but it wasn't on vacation. It was
No, that's something I want to do. I should put that on my bucket list. I definitely want to do that.
Park City, where the Olympics were. I was
Yeah,
in Salt Lake City covering
Yeah.
the basketball region. We ran up to Park City one night.
Yeah.
So I saw the resort.
That would have
but
been
I mean,
02, I
didn't
believe, when the
have-
Olympics
Yeah.
were there.
I think it was right before the Olympics. It was like
Okay.
01 when I was there. I think it was, or maybe a year before.
Well, we're glad
they
to
had
have
the
you back,
Olympics.
Mr.
Well, thank
Cerro.
you. That's where
Glad
I
to have
was.
you
That's
back.
I go skiing there almost every year, and
Okay.
the Olympic stuff is still
Really?
there. It's pretty
Wonderful.
cool. Yeah,
I
it's
bet
a
it's
great,
nice.
Utah's a great
Oh,
state.
that's where you were?
Yeah, in Park City. Yeah. It's a
And
great
I've
state.
also been to one right up in the mountains around Boise, Idaho.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Yep.
I've never skied.
Okay.
And I came back. I
And
only have
probably
one.
never will.
I only have one real injury to talk about. Last run of the day, trying to keep up with my 7-year-old. People usually like a knee, or
Right,
shoulder.
right.
I clip a tree with my thumb. How do you
That's cutting pretty
hurt
close,
your thumb on a tree? But I did. I was polling, and all of a sudden I just jammed my thumb up against a tree. So that's my only injury.
Everybody made
So
it back
you were
well
sitting
then.
around impressing everybody
right.
in the lounge that night
No, it wasn't
with
that
your
bad.
thumb up.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh,
All
my
right.
goodness.
All right, we got a lot to cover.
Yes, we do.
Really?
Yeah, and thanks again to McNeese head football coach Matt Viator.
Yeah, we
who was
really
with you
enjoyed having
guys
Matt
for an extended
on
period last week,
week.
talking about a number of
Yeah.
different subjects football-wise. We are going to get on McNeese football again because they finished out their 2013 football schedule.
Yeah.
That's later on in the show. We got a lot to talk about: basketball, some national stuff, localized stuff. But I want to get back on two significant hires in both with LSU and the New Orleans Saints, one offense, one defense, that I want to cover a little bit more. Let's start with the LSU Tigers and Ken Cameron coming in as offensive coordinator. I think it's a significant hire, big name hire with a strong resume. Y'all agree?
No, well, to a degree. But
No question.
To a degree.
Yeah,
No question.
Well, when
To
I
a
say that
degree.
to a degree, everybody that I've talked to, even Scooter saying himself, I guess I was looking for this guy when you say Cam Cameron. Somebody's going to come in. We're not going to change LSU overnight. I totally understand that. But are we going to see the fireworks that's expected with the players that we have? That's my concern. Do you understand me when I say that?
Why don't you interject, because you dealt with his press conference probably after last week's show, right? He came into Baton Rouge. I can't remember
it was
the
Friday.
timeline.
It was Friday.
Friday, that's right.
Friday,
Yeah.
I guess.
What was your impression of it?
Well, anytime, you're always impressed with an introductory press
Yeah.
conference. At some point, I mean, anybody that thinks one guy's going to walk in, snap his fingers, and change everything is probably dreaming.
Right.
Anybody that think, you know what the most common comment I've heard? Well, yeah, he might be good if Les will leave him alone.
I've heard
Les
that.
is the head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not going to totally leave him alone. But I'm not in their meeting rooms or what have you. No media is. I think it's probably a little overrated that Les handcuffs offensive coordinators, that kind of thing. I think that's probably way overrated. But and to my way of thinking, Les is not nearly as stubborn as he gets credit for. I think he will be open to ideas. He knew, and he said this about 2 or 3 days before the Chick-fil-A Bowl, not afterwards, after they had 8 3-and-outs.
Right.
He knew they needed something different in offense. He said it before that bowl game. So he knew.
Tipped his hand a little bit.
Well, yeah, and whether it was just they were going to change philosophy or what. But he obviously has brought in a different way of thinking. And I really, if you look back on it, and I don't have any stats to back it up, but if you look back on it, I think anytime you bring in a guy with a lot of pro experience to the college game, and he's no stranger to the college game, but he's got a lot of coordinator experience, that's a good hire.
I don't know why you're so skeptical.
Well, Rick, I guess, Rick, what I'm trying to say from years back and when we've looked at LSU, the biggest question in all of our minds is that when is LSU going to be a little bit more creative? Because you've got the people to be that way.
Okay.
You know, Rick, if we didn't have the skilled people on that roster, we would all sit here and say, well, they're doing the best with what they've got.
Right.
And I'm not going to buy into that. LSU has got a hell of a lot more athletes than what they're showing on Saturday night.
You had a
hell of
good
a lot more.
athlete like Russell Shepard that they never did. And
he's gone.
And he was a hybrid. He wasn't.
And you're right, Scooter.
By the definition of a wide receiver, he wasn't it. By the definition
you're right,
of a running
Scooter.
back, he wasn't it.
He was that in
but
between.
But he was a good enough athlete and talented enough.
I agree.
And I'm just using him as an example. But he was a good enough athlete. They should have been able to find something.
I agree, Scooter.
You know, and I don't think he would have been an every down player.
And
But they
here's
should
how
have
I'll
found something for
Here's
him
how
to
I'll
do.
interject in regards to Les Miles not handcuffing. Also, you have to have a brain trust to bring ideas.
You do.
Now, I don't know anything about pass offensive coordinators. I don't know anything about Krator. I don't know anything about Strogma or whatever. But you got to bring some ideas to the table.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a Cameron will.
And
now,
he will.
To your point, you can't expect a guy to come in first day in Baton Rouge and say, "I am going to do all of this."
No.
He's media savvy enough to know you don't play your
Well,
card.
he also has to deal.
He
also has to deal with an offensive staff that he can't just walk in and say, "Okay, I'm going to fix this."
Exactly.
Right. Right.
I mean, they know some football too.
Right.
And he doesn't want to come in and just put them, okay, here's the way we're doing it now.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna work with
Kevin,
them.
I'm with you. I want to see.
Because it's
I
gotta
want to see the
change.
backs get into it. I want to see tight ends get into
Rick.
it. I want to see traps. I want to see misdirection, counter plays, some kind of.
To sum it up, this is what I want to see as a former defensive player. This is what I want to see. When LSU comes to the line, I want to say this. Oh, shit, what are they in?
Yeah. You don't know what they're going to do.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's okay.
That's what I want to say, Rick.
Disguise.
That's
Keep
all,
them-
Rick.
keep
I
the
mean, give me
defense on their
something
heels.
different,
All right.
man.
So, Cam Cameron, we agree. Impressive. What? Did I miss something?
I hope so.
Huh? When we come back in about 2.5 minutes, I want to talk about the Saints. I want to talk about Rob Runt. I think it's an interesting hire.
Yeah.
There is some criticism against it, and I think they're tying people together.
There we go again with the Saints. And real quick, you have to have people to play those positions. You can bring in a defensive coordinator, but do you have corners?
We'll talk
do you have free safety?
about their free agent issues and problems. We'll do that in 2.5. We're coming back.
I'm on
to
a
Jack
roll tonight,
Daniels.
Scooter.
We want you back as well, because I'm back in the saddle and I'm
We're
feeling
glad to have you
okay.
back, Rick.
Thanks
We
a
are,
lot.
man.
We'll be back in about 2.
Remember,
Stay
this is cable.
Soundoff 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort.
At Tarver Ford, when we do a truck sale, we do it big, like 10 grand off big.
Come see us today and take 10 grand off MSRP on brand new 2012 Ford F-150s, F-250s, and F-350s. Take your pick, then take $10,000 off MSRP, 11 grand off MSRP if you finance with Ford. Plus, 0% for 60 months is available, 0 for 60.
So come see us today at Tarver Ford off I-10 exit 21 in Sulphur.
comes to Miller time, battles aren't just fought by the man in the ring. They're shared by the men in his corner. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Big Easy got the flavor, so easy to share. Always a crowd pleaser, easy to prepare. Big Easy, you always taste so good. You got Louisiana flavor, wrapped up so tight. Pick up some Big Easy foods tonight. Introducing Big Easy Foods in stores now.
Welcome back to the show. I want to remind you, every Thursday is Ladies' Night here at Jack Daniels. That would be coming up this Thursday, February 21st.
My mom watches this show, too.
Ladies drink free from 10 to midnight.
Yes.
That's always fun. When the ladies are having fun, everybody has fun, especially here at Jack Daniels. Great
It's
DJ,
a good place to be.
great music. Thursday, Ladies' Night here at Jack Daniels. You got to be here to enjoy it. All right, we covered the Cam Cameron hire at LSU. Rob Ryan, let me throw some stuff out at you. 4th defensive coordinator since 2006. Fourth.
Yeah.
Third, in my humble opinion, third big name, I won't say they're all flamboyant, but let's call it big name defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I think it started with Greg Williams, obviously.
Yeah.
Steve Spagnuolo last year. Big name.
Yeah.
Okay? Won a Super Bowl.
I don't think either one of them are as big a name as Rob Ryan.
Name-wise.
Yeah.
And, you know,
and now Rob Ryan.
The question is
I
this
agree.
style over substance?
I don't think so.
You've got a very flamboyant guy.
You do.
Guy that, you know, has the shaggy hair.
Yeah.
And,
Just
Yeah.
you just wonder how that's gonna fit.
Give Sean Payton credit. Obviously, the man is secure in his own skin. He doesn't mind bringing in these guys that may steal a little bit of limelight.
And that's okay, but Rick, you know
Hell,
what?
that is a funny
he gave
thing.
Greg Williams money from his contract to get him here.
Yeah.
Back when.
But one of the whispers when the Saints win the Super Bowl, when really it's too long to sit around talking about things, but the build-up for a Super Bowl, was that Peyton and Greg Williams, that there was a little friction between Peyton and Greg Williams because of the credit Greg Williams. You know, that was the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't so much that they were a dominating defense, but they made up for it with, you know, about a turnover a quarter,
exactly.
it seemed like.
And,
you know?
and turnovers that turned into a lot of points, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Rob Ryan spends 2 years with Jerry Jones in the Dallas Cowboys.
And you know that.
Last year, and I watched several of the Dallas games.
Look.
And he struggled through some key defensive injuries. One being DeMarcus Ware and LSU's rookie guy, Morris Claiborne, was hurt in and out of the line. So he
But there were
kind of had a
several.
patchwork.
They were decimated by injuries.
Yeah, they were.
I
And
mean,
they
I
were
know
weak
when
going into the year.
when the Cowboys fired him, it shocked the close followers of the Cowboys.
that's one way of putting it.
It would have been like Les Miles firing John Chavis instead of the offense.
I got you on that.
Or
Yeah.
instead of
You're right.
getting if the Cowboys needed anything, it was an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But of course, the head coach is very involved.
I think Jones, a little scapegoat there. He had to do something. He had to do something.
But you don't never, I mean, you've got to be adults about this. I mean, if you know it's this man here, I mean, you know the problem with the Cowboys. It wasn't defense last year, okay, Rick? Yeah, I think everybody knows that. They had their problems, but
They had a lot of injuries. Okay.
They were giving games away on offense, okay, honestly. Let's just call it like it is. Yeah. But when you look at that and you say, when you have a guy leave from one place and go to another place, which is the Saints now, you wonder, was this situation better there in Dallas than it's going to be here in New Orleans?
Well, I think he'll have more challenges, isn't he?
You know what I mean when you say that? I mean, look at the big names you got in.
You mean
detail.
personnel-wise? You mean
I mean
to work with?
Yeah, I mean talent. Dallas, you've got some talent in Big D, man.
Yeah.
On defense.
Yeah.
And you know
They
when you
fill
look at
some
the
holes.
Saints, you got some people that's mostly up front. But when I look at that secondary, this is going to be the biggest handicap for the Saints defense is being able to put a secondary up against other folks, wide receivers in this league, and be able to cover to where you can have time to create sacks. The reason why the Saints not creating many sacks is because the quarterback is finding men open too quick that we're not covering. That's the biggest problem.
Let's just take the 4 secondary guys. That's your expertise. Does that change? I mean, they're going from the 4-3 to the 3-4, but you still got 4 in the secondary.
Yeah.
With all the dime packages.
Yeah. Which is going to help on
Does it change secondary play in a 3-4 or 4-3?
No. But what it does, Scooter, it puts your personnel in different positions to where you might have to play more man, which opens the Saints up for a lot of more. I mean, this could be a little bit, well, when you look at the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys play more man than probably the Eagles. I mean, because you've got the personnel to put out there on those islands, Rick. When you look at the Saints, you better not line anybody up one-on-one.
Okay, all right, look, Patrick Robinson is skilled athletically, but he's a small guy. He's smaller. Yeah. Jabari Greer,
Rick,
a lot of experience, can make some plays, and then they're all going to get burned. Johnny Robinson, he got burned a lot, in my opinion. Now, he's a second, third year guy out of Louisville, I think it was, Johnny Robinson. Beyond that, then you get into the safeties, and you look, Malcolm
Jenkins missed a couple games.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
But did you see how they got toasted when he was out?
But see, Roman Harper gets burned a lot, but he is so strong up at the line of scrimmage.
That's why they want him up front. Yeah,
we
don't want him covering one-on-one deep.
No,
but Rick, it's just that when you look at that, people are going to match up against you, and
all right,
it's going to
get back on the Rob Ryan.
It's going to be tough.
Flamboyant, son of Buddy Ryan, brother of Buddy.
Son of Buddy Ryan, who Buddy Ryan,
Yeah.
didn't he invent the bounty system?
For the Eagles. The Eagles.
See, that's another thing.
The Eagles, Ben was doing it.
You're a big blog
the Eagles
guy.
Was
You
been
get
doing
on that. I popped in
No,
on
I'm
a
not
few.
a big blog guy.
You kind of pop in on a few. I popped in, and it's like, okay, Peyton's opened himself up for, what the shenanigans of a Rob Ryan.
Well,
I don't buy into that.
No, none of us do.
Because he's flamboyant, because he's fiery, because he's got an attitude.
Well,
he's
it isn't like Peyton doesn't know what he's getting.
Exactly.
So he's obviously comfortable with it.
Of course. He's coming off a year's suspension. He's not opening himself up.
If you
well,
can create turnovers.
He obviously just didn't sit back with a six-pack that whole suspension.
No, he didn't.
Well, he obviously studied, particularly the Saints games, because he didn't take. Apparently, he made up his mind. It sounds like a while ago that he's going to make this switch from the 4-3 to 3. I still don't know what the big deal is with that. When they snap the ball in the NFL, they all got 7 men up there anyway. I mean, what is it? I think 7 or 8 up there.
I think it's based on your personnel. It's what it's based on, Rick, honestly.
But because you know better than anybody, it's so complicated in regards to what gaps they shoot, where they up, moving, left, right. They're back in covers. They're not in coverage.
At the end of the day, you can ask any coach, Rick, on defense, you try and match up with your guys in front of you best you can. And I think when you change defenses, it's based on the personnel that you have, honestly.
Well, okay.
Honestly,
I'm gonna tease this.
It's not a factor if you want to just play something. You better have the personnel to play it.
2 weeks ago, I said, Sean Payton gets rid of Spagnuolo.
Yeah.
He's making. I said, this isn't ending. There's more to come. Okay, I think it's a great hire. I like a guy with attitude. I like a guy with name.
You got to have a guy
because he's going to get those defensive guys to play with attitude and play for him.
But I mean, the NFL, they have 30 coaches, so you're going to have turnover.
Of course, but you're talking about you got to get players to fit. Now there's talk about free agency. We're going to get into that in the next segment. Because I think we're going to see some personnel changes. You have to. If you're going for 3-4,
Rick,
guess what? You got to get guys that can play the 3-4.
That's what I'm telling you, Rick.
Apparently, they want to keep Will Smith and Jonathan Vilma, but they do want to restructure their contracts.
Look, we'll see. We want to get into some of that, and I'm going to go around the horn a little bit with you guys about free agents. Keep them or not. We'll do that in about 2.5 when we come back to Jack. Stay right here.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Douglas Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
When Miller time is on the line, friends don't choose sides. They root for the victory that they all get to share in together. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trisa Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatments you deserve. We are Dr. Trisa Guidry.
So Philip, you guys have been here for 3 years. I see the blue tags everywhere. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from Westlake to Quincy, Hackberry, Vinton, even coming across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Ioway. It's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us.
So Todd, give me an example of what you got going on here.
Well, Joe, we got a $299 a month lease on the F-150 crew cab, and as always, complimentary lifetime oil changes. We've got a great group of people here working real hard to serve our customers.
So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
All right, welcome back to the show. I'm back in the saddle after 1 week off. These guys did yeoman's effort last week on the show. I would give Matt Viator an A+. Kevin, you sneaked in with a C because you were sick.
Oh my goodness, at least a B.
At least a B. Hobbs, C-.
At least a B, Rick. Come on now.
What did I do wrong?
Man, at least a B.
Hobbs.
I wasn't playing hurt.
Jeez. You just need the bell. You need when you're at a point where when the brain gets foggy, ring the bell. Okay? That's my advice to you. Gotta get a sound effect, man. Right, appreciate y'all filling in while I was
We had a blast.
Right. We've covered some ground here. Let's get on this Saints free agency deal. I've got a list here of notable.
Yeah.
I mean, between unrestricted and restricted free agency, guys, it's about 20. Okay, now some of them are names that we all know. Let me run through this, and I'm going to throw this out. Just say, give me this, yes or no. All right. Restricted free agent, running back Chris Ivory. Keep him, sign him, or let him go free agency. Chris Ivory.
He didn't play this year. He didn't play.
But he could play.
He did.
What, 2 games, Scooter?
Yeah. I mean,
question mark in regards to the coaches wanting to play.
Everybody wondered why he didn't play.
Everybody wondered why he didn't play.
It did seem like when they finally did let him play, not only play well, but if you remember, it finally lit a fire under Mark Ingram's butt.
Yes, he did. Keep him or not?
Well,
you're paying Ingram a ton of money, man. How do you do that? I mean, you're paying Ingram
I'm not thinking
the bank.
money. I guess I should be.
Don't think about the money.
You have to. That's what does
I know
it.
in the days NFL you got to, but let's strictly
that's what
from
they
talent.
are. If you're not thinking about the money,
talent and impact on the team.
I say you keep him. Talent. If we're looking at just
now
talent,
you're changing your mind?
Yeah, I mean because of Ingram, you can't keep him because of Ingram. You're not going to get rid of him.
Tell you what, he's been impressive.
I don't know.
His only problem is staying
You can
healthy.
trade anybody.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was
But-
thinking. I would think.
But
maybe
look at the
try
money
to
you're going to
trade
have to pay Ingram to trade him.
Ivory or y'all confusing me now? Trade Ingram or Ivory?
Well, I would rather trade Ingram.
Yeah, but that ain't happening. That's not happening.
Well, he's got the salary.
That's not
he's got
happening.
everything
It's not
else.
guaranteed.
I mean,
That's not happening.
Nothing
Whoever
is
they
guaranteed.
trade for him, is he a free agent?
Who? No, he's not.
No, he's got
He's
a
under
year.
contract, but it's not guaranteed.
Well, they got to pick up his salary.
They're gonna have to pay him,
They
Rick.
trade him.
You can trade a guy. All right, I say keep Ivory. Backup quarterback Chase Daniel.
I don't know who Chase Daniels
if
is,
he'll
man.
come cheap, yeah.
There you go again.
I mean,
Back
I
to
don't
the
think-
money.
Well, you
That's
do
what
have
it
to
revolves
think about
around.
it in
Yeah,
terms of
strictly,
salary
that's what it
cap.
revolves around, man.
I mean, I wouldn't pay him starters money
Well,
to
of course
keep him.
not.
But
Drew
Rick,
Brees, he's not going to ever fill the shoes
But
of
that's
a
what
Drew
I'm
Brees.
saying. That's a no-brainer there, Rick. Chase Daniels, that's a
And
no-brainer.
is he a guy-
He's got to take up space. That's a no-brainer.
He's had some moments. He's had some moments.
I don't think Chase Daniels
mostly
even
in
touched
the
the field.
preseason, I guess. But
Knock
just
on
put it
wood,
this way.
Brees doesn't get hurt.
And I don't know how many of them there aren't there. But if Drew Brees got hurt, Do you think he could go win games?
Chase Daniel?
I wouldn't have much confidence.
I don't know.
That's a tough one, Scooter.
That is a tough
I
one.
mean, let's face it.
Former
That's a tough one.
That whole team is built around Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Former LSU wide receiver Devery Henderson. He
all
is
the way.
unrestricted free agent.
All the way.
So he's like
all
a free
the way.
bird.
Not a question. All the way.
And,
Really?
And I
Devery's
love
been good to
Devery.
that team,
I love
man. Devery's
Devery
been good to the
death,
Saints.
And I hope, I'm guessing he wants to stay with the Saints.
Oh, I know he does.
But if you're looking at it, that Morgan guy.
Man,
did the
Joe
same.
Morgan, no.
He's the
You gotta
speed
let him
guy
go,
that
Kevin.
Devery
I know.
was.
You gotta
I
let
know.
him go.
I know.
You gotta
you
let
serious?
him go.
You
Yeah.
know?
I think he's lost a step. Yes.
Well, I don't think Devery's
I don't think he's
a
lost a
step,
step.
really.
I don't
do.
think he's lost a step.
Joe Morgan caught anything around him.
Yeah, and he has that
You know,
speed.
he averaged like 45 yards a catch, Kevin.
No, he did.
All right,
No,
you
I
got to
know who
get
you're
the ball
talking
to
about.
Joe Morgan.
No, I
So
know-
look,
I know who you're
if
talking
you're talking
about.
money and you want to free up some money because of Drew Brees and $100 million,
Yeah.
Devery Henderson can
Well,
go.
Devery
All right.
might stay cheap.
Huh?
But Devery might stay
I think
cheap.
Devery's always played
It's just,
offensive
I
tackle.
think if they keep, I think Devery is as much as I love him, I hate to say this, I ain't be
Good guy.
fighting for a roster spot
Oh yeah.
anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. So if you can get some value, trade him. If you can get some, you know, he appeared on local news. He appeared at one like a Maryville basketball game.
Yeah.
Devery Henderson was just watching a Maryville basketball game. Or
Yeah,
something.
he's a good kid,
He's a good
man.
guy. All right, offensive tackle Jerome Bushrod. He is unrestricted free agent. You got to sign Bushrod. He's an All-Pro, guys.
Yeah.
You got to sign this guy.
Well,
you
no
got to
question.
you got to sign this guy.
Chances are they may not, because you don't know who they are trying to sign
And
that aren't signed.
that's right.
Right.
There's a lot of free
Right.
agency out there. Let me break away
You're right.
a little bit. The two that I caught over the weekend when I was coming out of my Utah fog, Dwight Freeney, the Colts. They're not going to re-sign him.
Well,
And
let me tell you
Charles
something.
Woodson with the Green Bay Packers. All these 35, 36-year-old veterans, all of a sudden now they're going to start, you're steering their names out there as free agency. All right, Brian De La Puente, center. Brian De La Puente. He is restricted.
Yeah.
I like continuity. Continuity.
Yeah.
Try to keep him.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle Cedric Ellis. Remember? Top pick out of USC.
Yeah.
He is unrestricted.
See, I'm not smart enough to know whether Cedric Ellis.
How do they grade
projects,
out?
If he projects in this 3-4, what
Good
the
point.
4-3-3 change
To where he's
Good
going to
point.
fit in at on that. Yeah.
Most
I
of the
agree.
time, though, Kevin, 3-4, don't you have some guy who's like, I don't know, as wide as that Jack Daniels truck?
Yeah.
You need a big
I remember
body
the guy like played for the Green Bay Packers. What's his name? The guy in the middle.
You gotta have the huge nose guard.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
What you call ends are really more tackles because the outside linebackers are basically
ends.
Covers them up, Scooter. He covers them up, Scooter.
About three.
He covers them up,
Something
Scooter.
about it,
He covers them up,
One
Scooter. You're
that
right.
you don't know.
You're right.
I say Ellis got to go. I didn't see the impact. I haven't seen the consistency or the impact in a 4-3 setup in the last 2 years. I say he can go. Linebacker Scott Shanley, unrestricted free agent. Like him up here.
I didn't see much.
Like him up here.
But I think athletically, I think he's
Limited?
missing a little bit. Yeah, he
Limited?
is. He is.
And he's got 7 or 8 years. you
Well,
know.
they had in some cases the Saints played. They had tight ends that he was trying to cover. Didn't have a clue. And that's
There
going to
we
be
go.
big for a lot of teams this year. Are those tight ends?
All right, so now you ushered it in. Yes, there's word out that Will Smith and Jonathan Vilma, they're reportedly asking them to restructure, get their contracts down. I was impressed what Vilma did in the limited amount of time he was in there.
Yeah, you have
after
to
he
be.
got through.
You have to be.
I like Will Smith. He always seems to play hard. But again, 9 years. Vilma, 9 years in the league. I see the drop-off, guys.
That's
I
tough,
see
though,
the
man.
drop-off.
There's no question there's a drop off with Vilma, and they've got Fletcher's name, the guy they got from Atlanta.
Curtis Lofton.
Yeah.
Lofton, yeah.
But you didn't mention the most important signing.
Go ahead.
They signed Raphael Bush.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Number 25. Okay, why is that so
He's
important?
number 25.
Yes.
All the people with the Reggie Bush jerseys can keep wearing.
Can keep them.
Because Raphael Bush, even if they got an
I know.
all
Got
those
the same
number
name.
25 Reggie
Got the
Bush
same name,
jerseys
Scooter.
are still good for Saints games. You'll say, you will point out to everybody, I know the whole roster.
Yeah.
I got Raphael Bush's jersey.
All right.
Yeah.
So
That is a good point.
you went
Scooter.
through the whole week.
Yeah.
And that's the best nugget you can add to today's show.
That's what he's got.
Raphael Bush because of the jersey. All right,
okay.
short pause. When we come back, it's LSU
we'll give you that one, buddy.
baseball, basketball, and a number of other issues on our minds. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at soundoff60.com.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Fly the blimp, too much hot air. Race announcer, same thing there. Wouldn't get a word in with you know who. Just get down on the track and do what you do. Slide down in my seat, pull the belts tight. Get up on the wheel and let the dust fly. Napa know how.
All right, welcome back to L'Auberge Casino. Jack Daniels right here. Yes. It was Gladys night.
Oh, what a great
show. Here at L'Auberge for the big show concert.
I went.
Day after Valentine's Day. It gets even bigger. No slight against Gladys.
No, Gladys looks good, though. Gladys, I mean, she was in that all red, that sequence.
Yeah.
I was singing along with Gladys. Yeah.
You better shut up before you get in more trouble.
Give it clean?
Yes, no doubt.
Matchbox 20, March 22nd, coming to L'Auberge Casino. Matchbox 20, they were in New Orleans.
That's a hot group,
They
man.
did the pre-Super Bowl concert.
It's a hot group.
They're big. Rob Thomas, they got a big top-selling album out.
Yeah.
If you can get a ticket, be here, start working on those tickets.
It's going to be a big concert for
Matchbox
us.
20, March 22nd. All right, let's do some baseball.
Okay.
I'll start off with the McNeese Cowboys. I've listened to Terry Burrows in a couple of preseason press conferences. He feels this pitching staff is going to be better. Unfortunately, they've got an injury, a slight broken hand issue to what he feels will be his number one starter, Michael Clemens. Won't be back until March. But the big buildup is the offense from last year. They were putrid. Now, what kind of offense they can come back with? I wouldn't say putrid over the weekend, but they didn't get enough runs. They go 0-3 against Townsend State.
Well, they got enough runs twice.
Yeah. They 8, 9.
So,
yeah.
You know, unless Towson State is this year's Stony Brook.
There you
Remember
go.
that beat LSU last year?
Yeah.
You know, that was not the opening weekend McNeese was looking for.
No.
I mean, my goodness.
No, 0-3. But
that's a tough opener.
You play 40-something games.
Yeah, you do.
And
boy,
56.
Huh?
56.
56. So, you know, this is not an indicator of what this Cowboy team can do. Now, the kid out of Barb, I mean, he's peach fuzz freshman, Bryce Kingsley, came out and did very well. First collegiate start on a Sunday against Townsend State. That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good. So anyway,
that's up to him.
We hope
the Cowboys going to turn around.
No.
Doesn't mean that
that's a tough start, though. That's a rough start, 0-3.
You know, that's not what you're looking for.
No, you're at home. You want to win 2, maybe 1, not 0-3.
Win 1.
Again, we'll try to have Terry Burrows in the next couple of weeks come on and talk about the season, about the talent, and about all the newcomers that he's got. A lot of JUCO newcomers. Let's shift to Baton Rouge. On the other side, Tigers go 3-0 against Maryland. Pretty good competition on the ACC.
Yeah, yes. I don't think they were a great team.
Yeah.
No. They're not a ranked team or anything. And again, I'm going to say, I mean, maybe Paul Maneri said it best at the end of the third, after a 3-game sweep. What's not to like?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, nothing. They played pretty well all 3 phases. But that doesn't mean they're going to Omaha after one weekend. And I will buy into the didn't swing the bats real well until Sunday, but I will buy into it because I was there at all 3 games.
Yeah.
And it was, even though it was a clear days, that weather was brutal because it was some cold and the wind was blowing. Those 50-foot flags they have at Alex Box Stadium, they were stiff, pointing straight at home plate.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was brutal hitting conditions. If I had to look, it's something to be impressed with. It would be the contribution, really all 3 games, of some newcomers.
Really?
The newcomers you read, the shortstop, Brignac, he really looks like everything he's advertised to be. You know?
Really?
I mean, like future All-American, I'm talking about.
That's big.
And then, there I go after one weekend
Yeah,
claiming
I'm
this
saying
guy
that's
an
big.
All-American.
You're breaking your own rules.
But put it this way, on the first weekend, he was everything he was advertised to be.
Yeah.
They got a lot of pitchers that threw a little bit and threw very well. All the newcomers, in fact, if there were 2 disappointments over the weekend, it was their 2 big returning stars, Mason Katz and Ray Frimes, who weren't even supposed to be there their senior years. They didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Another guy that contributed a good bit was Jacoby Jones, who everybody's been waiting for him to play to his talent. Everybody knows his talent and potential is there.
How did he get away from the
had a
Baltimore
good
Ravens
weekend.
to play for LSU?
Yeah, right. Right, yeah.
He still has baseball.
Well, how did the Texans let him go? Let me ask that.
There you go again.
But anyway,
did they let him go?
And if you look at Jones, he kind of came on after a really disappointing year last year. He did come on late in the year and in the postseason and played pretty well then, and he looked like he's picked up where he left off.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing to criticize.
Yeah.
The only thing, just because they look pretty good the first weekend. Baseball, more than any other sport, is a long year that is a work in progress. The ebbs and flows.
Ebb and flow.
And that starting lineup that LSU put out there the first weekend may be a distant memory, by when April rolls around.
You're right.
And look, back to the Cowboys, Coach Burrows is really high on the young talent and the returning talent from the mound. Okay, you got to get some offense in the Southland, but it really does start on the mound. And I think they're going to be better in pitching. I think they'll turn it around. They'll turn it around quick. They'll level this thing out. Let's talk basketball. The McNeese Cowboys and the Cowgirls.
Had a rough time.
Every time I say that, I do this.
Come on now, Rick.
You just can't figure them out. Now, I wrote a piece in Lanyap, and I got a couple calls from Cowboy basketball. I was too hard on the kid, the sixth man, Ledrick Eccles, who left the squad. I wrote a long piece on it, and I was very critical of him leaving the squad. Right. Okay, he comes in as a transfer, and he leaves after 12 or 13 games. He was a spark plug off the bench. And when you lose that as you're getting ready to the second half of your conference, that is a big loss of offense and a big loss of talent. And shame on Eccles for leaving the club.
Well,
and
that's
my piece.
Yeah, we don't. Do you
read
know?
the article? Okay?
Okay.
He wanted to be a starter. He wanted more playing time.
Really?
And Simmons was, look, I make the roster.
That's the reason. Shame on him.
Shame on him.
Shame on him.
Because, look.
It's called a
You
team
wait
sport.
a year.
It's called a
He
team
was going
sport.
to be a starter by the end. I'm confident
It's a team
he
sport.
was going to be a starter by the end of this year. He was.
It's a team
and
sport.
next year, he was going to be a starter. He was going to be their main off the number 2 spot with Guidry and McFerrin and Kevin Hardy, and you throw him in the mix. I don't understand you. I just don't understand you. Cowboys 4-9 in the conference. They got Southeastern tomorrow night at Burton Coliseum. They're hanging on to that 8th spot.
Don't make that game.
They're hanging on. Well, they're still below 500. I do this because they're just been psychotic. They've been all around, all around. Now the Cowgirls, up and down.
Yeah, but they're psychotic too.
At times. Psychotic. That's not a good word.
Come on now.
Well, one of the twins.
Schizo.
One of the twins was quoted with Alex Hickey in the American press.
I saw that.
Bipolar.
Okay.
They do have bipolar games.
Yeah.
But look, they're 8-5 in the conference. They're well above 500, and they're 1 game out of first place.
Yeah.
And a top seed in that postseason tournament.
More important,
Coach,
I
get
think,
them going.
I think, well, they're going to make the tournament, obviously, and And the best thing they have going for them, it appears to me they are the best team in the conference.
Look, they're one game out. I'd put them in the top 3. I'd put them in the top 3. Lamar is very, very good. And Sam Houston also up there. I don't know anything about Oral Roberts.
When they have to play, which they will in the tournament, they're the best team.
Yeah, I agree, Scott.
I put a lot of faith in the Cowboys.
And that's the one thing that Coach said when she came on. She said, it all depends on how we come together on that night and play as a team. You've got teams like that. You got some teams that show up and play well, and some teams are better than the team that they're playing, but don't play as well.
So it's Tuesday at Burton Coliseum.
Go out and see the
Cowgirls get going at about 5:30. The Cowboys, 30 minutes after that game, probably 7:45, 8 o'clock against Southeastern Louisiana. 2 key Southern Conference matchups because there's only 4 or 5 games left in the schedule. All right, another break. When we come back, I don't know, NBA All-Star game?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we talk for that?
Man.
No, we won't do that.
Can we talk about the dunking contest?
We won't do that. I got a couple things up my sleeve, as they do as well.
Wow.
We'll be back in about 2
You know I love to watch
here
that,
Jack Daniels. Stay right here. We're coming back.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort, home of Soundoff 60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
At Tarver Ford, when we do a truck sale, we do it big, like 10 grand off big.
Come see us today and take 10 grand off MSRP on brand new 2012 Ford F-150s, F-250s, and F-350s. Take your pick, then take $10,000 off MSRP, 11 grand off MSRP if you finance with Ford. Plus, 0% for 60 months is available, 0 for 60.
So come see us today at Tarver Ford, off I-10 exit 21 in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
What is it about Luxair cooling products that deliver the comfort you've been wishing for? Is it their energy-saving performance? Those super cozy moments with loved ones? Or perhaps it's that great feeling you get in helping those wishing for a little comfort of their own? For over a decade, we've been helping deliver hope, strength, and joy to Make-A-Wish children and families at a time when they need it most. Find out how Luxair home comfort products will make you feel really good this season. Luxair, the comfort you've been wishing for.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels here at L'Auberge Casino. Last week was Mardi Gras. This week is post-Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Lent season.
Yes.
Okay. We got to talk of food. Unfortunately, I'm going to talk about pork and sausage jambalaya from Big Easy Foods. Yeah. Can't eat it on Fridays, though.
No.
Why? If you're Catholic, it's Lent.
Right.
Did I go through that? Did I confuse
you did.
everybody?
You did. Very good.
Pork and sausage jambalaya from Big Easy Foods. You can't beat it. Available at stores across Southwest Louisiana. It comes in 12-ounce servings. It also comes in family size, 2 pounds.
Right.
Which you can knock off about a pound and a half.
You know what I'm thinking? Maybe we should contact them and let them come back and kind of display all those dishes on the table and stuff, and just let us sample those dishes so we can talk more about
just
those
kind of
dishes.
get the spoon action going?
Yeah. I still hadn't finished the turducken.
I'll try to work on that.
Let's do that.
Big Easy Foods, pork and sausage jambalaya. Easy to microwave, quick and easy to make for all the kiddies. Find it at retailers across Southwest Louisiana. Yes. It's made right here in Lake Charles. Our good friends at Big Easy Foods, and check them out online, bigeasyfoods.com. You can learn more about it. All right, before we get into the McNeese Cowboys and the season, if you will, the schedule for 2013, a couple of high school notes here. The Saints, St. Louis Saints soccer. We've had that. We spotlighted this team and the coach. Look. Unprecedented, 4th straight if they win this Saturday in New Orleans at Tad Gromley State. 4th straight state championship in soccer. Now, none of us at this table play. None of us played soccer. I didn't even play kiddie soccer. Okay, I don't know how difficult it is to win state championships in soccer, but you got to tip your hat to these guys. 4 straight.
All I know is it must be damn difficult to score a goal in it.
They don't score many. They beat Vanderbilt Catholic 2-1, and they knocked those guys out of the playoffs for like the, 4th or 5th year in a row.
Saints have just always had tremendous amount of talent when it comes to Soccer. I don't know what it is, man.
Again, it's that
I don't know
when
what
you
it
have a
is.
core
God.
and when you have good coaching and good support from parents and boosters, and you know, you go
Yeah.
to St. Louis and they're going to attract. I don't want to get into that whole issue.
Yeah, you watching now
but
because
you're
you'll be
gonna
having them jump
attract-
down out of.
You're going to attract soccer talent to
You
that
will.
particular school.
You will.
All right, high school basketball. The state playoffs open.
Yeah,
this
got a few
week.
teams locally still in.
Yeah,
Just a few.
Still-
you got Washington
still-
Marion,
yeah.
the boys at 6th seed, and
Yeah.
LaGrange, I think they're like 25, 26.
And I think Westlake is still in it.
The boys, Westlake,
Westlake's
and
still
the
in.
Sulphur girls are the
Sulphur
highest
girls,
ranked
yeah.
female team
Right.
in the Sulphur Tour. They're like 25-3.
They're good.
That's
No,
like
they're
20,
good.
and that's good when you
They
get
are
to a
good,
record at
yeah.
25-3. So you've got a
Let's see who
number,
goes the deepest, yeah.
a number of high school teams in the state basketball playoffs. You know, and if you're a basketball fan, I'm to a core basketball fan. It's fun going to high school games.
Oh, it is.
I've
Rick.
popped in on girls' games and the boys' games. Look, they're not going to make every shot.
No.
It's not college and NBA. But the passion in which they play.
It is. The hustle.
And the hustle.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you watch a Washington Marion,
No,
against
you're looking at a little bit.
Peabody or one of those teams, that's good basketball.
That's good basketball. You're right
There's
about
no
that.
doubt about that.
But
There's
I think
no
the
doubt.
show in that, when you go to the Washington Marion game, you've got to watch Coach on the sideline with this lavender. I went to one of the games, had a
What's
lavender.
with Coach Al?
Coach had a lavender suit on.
Well, it's become a tradition there.
Lavender. I was like, okay.
Did you pass along? Did you pass along your tailor to him? I've never seen you.
But Coach wears it well. Not
He does.
everybody can pull that off.
Well,
Believe me.
very few. It's kind of the Ricky Fowler of high school
Not everybody can
basketball.
pull it off, guys. Believe me when I
You're
tell
right
you that.
about All right. The McNeese Cowboys, they had one open date on
Yeah.
their 2013 schedule. They fill it with Northern Iowa. It's not a home and home.
No.
They still have 6 home games. Northern Iowa, perennial power. I applaud it. Some
Of course,
maybe not.
anytime why would you not?
You have to put that on your
Where's
schedule.
the downside?
Well, the downside is they ain't coming here.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
that would be
plus
better.
it's going to
obviously.
the Dome.
I'm just talking
Yeah.
about for next year.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
next year's schedule, what is the downside?
Some would say
It's a good
maybe-
opponent.
It's a good opponent. Some
Yeah.
would say
A
maybe
game
too good.
somebody might care about.
That's right. I'm
right.
with you.
So tell me again what the downside
The downside
is.
is not home and home,
Okay.
and they
Right.
needed to fill that. They needed to fill it. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
the Panthers, Northern Iowa, like 5 and 6 last year. I do recall this. I did some. Matt Bonnet supplied us with some information. They almost knocked off Wisconsin. They had Wisconsin
Really?
against in the season opener.
Well, that was
But
in
a lot of
the
one
we all
double
remember
A.
that.
That was
A
in the
lot of
opener,
one
Rick,
double
yeah.
A's had
Wisconsin
some.
Yeah, but that was in
fired
the
their
opener.
offensive line coach the next day.
I think right.
that
all right,
was in the
so
opener.
The Cowboys, they add Northern Iowa. So let me run through it. We don't have this graphically, but they go at South Florida. Was that Big East now? South Florida in the Big East? I can't keep all the conference.
Yeah, I
South Florida.
believe they are.
Big
Yeah.
East team at South Florida. Remember
What's
the
left
game?
of the Big East?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
About 5-6 years ago, the Cowboys
Right.
had the Bulls
Right.
on the rope. 5 or 6 years ago, late,
Remember
I'd say
that.
early fourth, they had a lead, but then, you know, they come off with 2 or 3 touchdowns. Arkansas Pine Bluff. Here's what I find interesting about this schedule. September 7th, 14th, and 21. 3 straight home games.
Yeah.
Arkansas Pine Bluff, West Alabama, and Weber State. Okay. Arkansas Pine Bluff, very good team in the SWAC.
Yeah.
And then you got Northern Iowa on the road, Central
That's gonna be
Arkansas on
interesting.
the road, open, Sam Houston at home, and Nichols on the road. They got like a 5-week stretch. They got 1 home game and an open date and 3 games on the road. That's going to be a tough middle of the year stretch for the Cowboys. Northern Iowa, Central Arkansas, Sam Houston, and Nichols State in that stretch. At home, Southeastern, at
Yeah.
Stephen F., Northwestern at home, and Lamar.
Overall,
at
that's
Lamar
pretty good
closes it
schedule.
out.
It is.
All right.
It is a good schedule. West Alabama.
Good to see Lamar back on the schedule.
I don't know anything about West Alabama. Obviously, you got a cupcake game in there. You got to throw one in there. Arkansas Pine Bluff. They almost went unbeaten last year.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a cupcake that's going to be.
Rick, on last week we had Matt in, and one of the things that we talked about with him, Scooter and I, was which you're probably aware of, is the quarterback situation. Tell us your thoughts on that.
Well, I sat down with Matt for about 20 minutes at recruiting. Very high on Grant Ashland.
6'6", 6'5"?
6'6".
Yeah.
6'6". Saw some tape on him.
Yeah.
Obviously strong arm, big kid, you know, that kind of thing. And what the highlights we saw was decent foot speed.
Right.
You know, the foot, not quick, but good movement, and he took it up the middle and around the end a few times. So he has running ability.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of the names that popped up, and I think Matt went into it with you guys, was Western Kentucky. Bobby Petrino, even though I hate Bobby Petrino, they got in it late, and he was still able to snag this guy.
Yeah, that's what he talked about. That is.
That's pretty good.
That is.
Western Kentucky is FBS now.
Yeah.
They're not FCS
if he can,
they're in the Sun Belt.
If he can justify it.
They got him against Western Kentucky and then caused a little bit of a stir in Arkansas last week, but Petrino came out and said, Western Kentucky has better facilities than Arkansas.
Oh, don't tell me he said
what?
That.
He did.
Does this guy just shoot himself?
Bobby's got to be there. That's him. He's got to be that way, Rick. He's got to be that way, Rick.
Man.
He's got to be that way.
Just something against Bobby Petrino and me. All right.
No, I'm not a big fan either. Don't get me wrong.
I don't want to rehash the whole McNeese recruiting, but one of the things you asked about Viator and is he got a couple of all-state first-team guys in Louisiana, some defensive linemen.
Oh, yeah.
That is
some
pretty
locally,
impressive.
Too. Some locally.
Some
good local talent.
He's got some guys coming in that might put some time in as true freshmen.
And that was
how good.
I'd be surprised if some of them don't.
Oh, exactly.
And that was one of the things that Matt had mentioned to Scooter and I. I asked him the question. I said, Coach, if you've got a guy that comes in that may be a freshman or an underclassman, do you think that he's going to have the opportunity to step in and play? He said, we're here to win.
Yeah.
One
of the things, my final note on this, and I think us at the table, we've covered it and we know it a little bit, but it's really funny talking with Matt about it. I don't know if y'all discussed it with him, but some of these guys, they were able to get out of Florida.
Yeah.
I know some things were mentioned in the American press, and obviously I asked him about getting a kid out of South Florida and get a kid out of Bradenton.
Yeah.
I lived in that area, and Bradenton has always had very good football play. And they were able to secure these guys on the offensive line and or defensive line.
Right.
These were guys that were on the cusp of FBS big schools, but you know what? They came in at 6'3", and the FBS big boys want them 6'5" and 6'6".
But good talent.
2 to 3 inches make a difference.
Yeah.
In regards to some positions.
6'5".
And you know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was saying.
Think about that.
When you're looking at running a certain defense on offense, you got to have personnel that's going to fit what you want to do. And some coaches are stickler for. They are.
They want a 6'5". And if you're 6'3", you're coming in under the wire.
Yeah.
We're up on a break. It's Stump the Wise Guys up next. We'll talk Daytona 500 as well for all you gearheads.
Yes.
When we come back. Stay right here.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford, Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LeBerge Casino Resort.
Philip, you guys have been here for 3 years. I see the blue tags everywhere. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from Westlake, DeQuincy, Hackberry, Vinton, even coming across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Iowa. It's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us.
So, Todd, give me an example of what you got going on here.
Well, Joe, we got a $299 a month lease on the F-150 crew cab, and as always, complimentary lifetime oil changes. We've got a great group of people here working real hard to serve our customers.
So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
Miller Time. You won't find it on any clock or specific time zone. Miller Time isn't so much about when as it is about who. It's about the friends you go to bat for, the ones who'll be there when they say they will. Even if being there means crossing state lines with no questions asked. Because guys that leave nobody behind deserve a beer that leaves no taste behind. And with great friends and a great tasting light beer, it's not just a good time, it's Miller Time.
It is called Stump the Wise Guys, and we are ready to kick it off. Back again, the lovely Kayla and the equally lovely Haley. All right, before we get started, who called who about the bun thing?
You know, we just came here.
I didn't notice that. I just noticed that.
She was like, "Hey, we have the same hairstyle, so we're officially doing a Bun Day Monday." So every Monday, we're
Monday.
gonna have fun.
Monday, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very stylish.
Could be
I
the
didn't
figure
notice.
skate.
It's a national holiday now.
Yeah. We're making it
President's
that
Day.
way.
I thought maybe they were figure skaters.
There you go. I like that. All right, who's up first? Kayla?
I am.
Here we go.
All
Here
right.
we go.
Don't cheat.
No cheat.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, Daytona is a 500-mile race, but how many actual laps make that
Oh, I do know.
500 miles?
Let's see, it'd be 200.
Ding, 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 we have a winner.
All right, Scooter. Way to go, buddy. Way to go, buddy.
Who was the
I'm
first
impressed.
winner of the Daytona 500 in 1959?
19 win?
Dale.
1959.
Richard
Petty
Petty.
or a Johnson? It's got to be a Petty or a Johnson.
I said Dale.
One of those old North Carolina guys.
I said Dale.
Petty.
Full name? What's the full name?
Junior Johnson.
I'm going to go with
Richard Petty.
Jack Petty.
Richard Petty.
Richard's dad.
Ooh, you're wrong.
God.
Lee Petty.
Who?
Close.
Lee
It was a
Petty.
Petty.
Lee
Oh,
Petty.
that's
Yeah.
Richard Petty's dad.
Lee
Got the
Petty,
last name
1950.
right.
All right, he was a moonshiner. All right, back
Okay,
to Kayla.
Watch
question
it,
3. Name the 2 drivers who have won the most Daytona 500s.
Richard
Oh,
Petty.
that's easy.
Richard Petty
and,
An older guy, probably.
Dale.
No, he only won one.
You only won one?
Because that's the race.
Is that your answer to all the questions?
Yeah, right.
Richard
I don't know much about NASCAR, guys. I don't know. Okay.
I'm going to take a stab at it.
I
Who
don't
asked
know
the question, Kayla?
I did.
Kayla Yarbrough.
Correct.
Kayla Yarbrough.
Oh, that's right.
then.
Which order did they go in? Which order did they go in? Who's first and who's second?
Petty won, like
Petty.
7 or 8. Yeah.
Just checking. Just
Okay,
making sure.
thanks.
you know.
All right,
She's
then.
keeping us in line.
All right.
Oh, Kaylee got it. I mean.
Okay, I'll get this
Just
next one
answer
watch.
Dale there.
Watch,
Yeah,
I'll get this next
you
one
will.
watch.
All right.
You will. I promise you will.
I will get it, watch.
Okay, ready? There has been only one fatality during the actual running of the Daytona 500 race. What is it now? Who is it?
That one I know.
Sir, come on, it's a tragic death.
Okay, one of the answers had to be Dale, so at least you
I didn't realize
tried.
that was the only fatality they've ever had there. That's
Yeah.
surprising.
No.
It's the only one.
Probably in the race.
Really?
Well, yeah.
I covered
But it's
Daytona.
still surprising.
But
And
I covered
still.
Neil Bonnet died back in the 90s.
What, in trials?
But in practice.
But you know
there
what?
There
though?
had been death at Daytona.
And when you look at
But not
that
during
crash, guys, and people have said it before, it doesn't seem like that would have killed somebody.
Yeah, it's tragic death. You're right. Dale was the answer.
I'm really surprised
Very good.
none of y'all answered Ricky Bobby to any of these questions.
Hold on, we hadn't finished
coming.
yet. We hadn't
It's
finished
coming.
yet now.
All right,
We gotta
bonus
know.
question. Bonus question. What 2 drivers more known for their IndyCar racing championships who also won the Daytona 500?
Wait, that's confusing. See?
No, the IndyCar drivers who won
Mario
at
Andretti.
Daytona.
Mario Andretti won it once. I
Well, that's
believe.
Formula One, isn't it racing?
No, IndyCar.
IndyCar. Mario Andretti and the Houston guy.
AJ Foyt.
AJ Foyt.
Correct.
Yeah.
AJ Floyd.
Yeah.
All right, then.
I was thinking
All
of
right,
another
yeah.
guy, but he didn't run that. Is that
Yeah.
Did we get them all?
No, you missed one.
Oh,
missed one.
okay, we missed. Oh, yeah.
We got 1 or 2.
Okay,
Yeah,
ladies.
that's
Kayla.
tough, man. That's
I love the hairstyle.
But I thought
love
that
the
you
bun.
guys.
Thank you.
But a quick question, guys. One of them I thought should have been in there was a young lady.
What's that?
Danica Patrick?
Yes.
Yep.
That would have been a good
She
question.
had never won and she hadn't got killed. So.
Oh,
Wow,
don't
but
say that.
Hobbs, you gotta be so mean.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it, ladies.
God,
Thank
you.
ladies.
I'm telling you.
Hobbs gotta be so mean.
When I'm gone,
He's gotta be so mean.
you got to get Kayla in here because she will spear
She
you.
will.
She could be.
She will. She's
she
a
could
little
be the
feisty.
third
Yeah,
host
she
here.
is.
Haley got you.
Yeah.
Dale is your only answer
I
to all.
don't know NASCAR. I mean, I don't know NASCAR. Dale.
Orangeburger. Yeah, there you go. Unbelievable. All right, speaking of Danica Patrick, first woman ever to win
Female.
a pole this week at Daytona. How big is that?
That is big, man.
How big
That is
is
big.
that?
I mean, it made ESPN. I
think
watched
so?
it. I say, hey, hats off to the lady, man.
Of course, you know,
That's
nobody remembers who wins the poll
Yeah.
this time next week.
I think, I think it's more impressive. It's only her second year to run Daytona. I
Really?
think that's more impressive. I mean, look, she's been
Can
racing
you-
a long time.
Can you imagine some of the guys, like,
NFL Combine this week. NFL Combine.
You're already getting your mouth
The
washed,
NFL
you know,
never
so
goes
it's
away.
like, you know.
Combine
God.
week. Teran Matthew will be Indianapolis.
Yes, he will.
He's got to show him something, doesn't he, Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he does. But I
he's
think
a smaller guy. He's got to show
yeah.
something at the Combine.
But you know what? Like we said, Rick, there are teams that can find a place for him.
For him. Oh, he'll get drafted. He'll get drafted. I think we're out of time. Great show,
Already?
guys. Had a ball. Had a ball. We'll do it again next time. Well, we'll see you at the games, everybody.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Soundoff 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights, 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Soundoff 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.